generation or mine?
Definitely my generation. There's absolutely nothing that I miss about being broke. I detest poverty with an intensity that is magnanimous.
When you die, will your kids inherit all your money?
Magnanimous. What is that? I think I know what he's trying to say. So, nah, hold on. We need to see the exact meaning of that. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Generous or forgiving, especially towards a rival or less powerful person. Huh? Is that the only meaning for it? What?
When I miss about being broke, I detest poverty with an intensity that is magnanimous.
When you die.
Am I tweaking or that shit don't make no sense? Cause I thought I was stupid, but did folks just use that shit wrong? Like what?
Will your kids inherit all your money? How you doing?
I'm great, bro. How you feel?
Yes, sir.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too. All right, so we're gonna get into it today.
Let's get in it.
At what age did you become a millionaire?
I was 45.
45.
When I became a millionaire. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I had made my first $1 million in sales by the time I was 20, but I didn't actually become a millionaire until I was 25.
Wow. Okay. You made your first $1 million in sales, like $1 million in a year?
In revenue, with
Right, in a year.
e-commerce. Yeah, in a
Okay,
year.
cool.
Yeah,
But
but
you didn't become a millionaire until you were 25.
yeah, it took me 5 years
What
after
a late
that.
bloomer. Sheesh. What were you doing for 5 years, bro? Just wasting time?
Just spending money, being stupid, yeah.
I'm obviously joking.
Yes, I
When
know.
I was 25, I was broke. so
Yeah.
Man, congratulations. That's a lot of success early.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For you, like being at 45, did it feel like late for you, or you felt like
Just on time, bro.
Yeah.
It's never too late. Like anytime you become a millionaire, oh, it's a good day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how old you are. You be.
You know what that really shows you though, chat? Like, how do I put this? Everybody's on their own timing, innit? He became a millionaire at 45. He made his first, and the other guy made his first million at 20. There's a millionaire by 25. Like, shows you, everybody's on their own timing. So, you know?
45, 25, 65, 85 is better than not alive.
That's real.
Right?
That's real.
So, yeah. Have you ever been broke before?
Yeah, many times in my life. I grew up with me and my mom and my stepdad, and we didn't really have a lot of money. You know, she worked as a front desk, taking care of my sister and me, and money was never a thing we had. You know, we just was getting by, and I was even more broke when I was 22 years old. I went $30,000 in debt. And I had to start all
That
the
felt
way
like
over.
a lot then too, didn't it?
It's a lot. It felt like a mountain on me. But yeah, I grew up broke and I went back broke, but we bounced back. How about you?
I was broke for the first part of my life. And by first part, I'd say for the first 35-ish years, I was kind of broke. Then went to middle class for a couple of years while I was working on my business still. And finally got some stuff locked and loaded and figured out, put it on rinse and repeat. And then 2008 happened. Well, we had a series of stuff happen. My oldest son died from injuries he sustained in a car accident when he was 20. So that was in 2007. The next year was the Great Recession. Not that they're the same, but it's just like when tragedy strikes, it shakes you. And so the next year was the Great Recession. I had people who owed me hundreds of thousands of dollars who disappeared off the face of the earth. Then 2009, I kind of rebuilt. Before that year was over, that was all wiped out again. And then 2010 got audited by the IRS and owed them over $1,065,000. I didn't have $1 million or $65,000. And it just kept happening. And so I was broke, so broke, and stuff like that kept happening. By 2013, I was so broke. 2012, I borrowed money from whoever would lend it to me, moved across the country, rented a house, short sold my mansion, me possessed my cars. You say me possessed, don't you mean repossessed? No, repossessed when they come get it, me possessed when you take it back to them. And so I took back my Mercedes 550 SEL. And it just went downhill. I lived on borrowed money for 2 years. It was really painful, and I didn't really know if I was going to bounce back. I didn't really even know if I wanted to.
So you were rich, and you had money, and then
I became a millionaire.
Completely went back to.
Oh, beyond broke. I was over $1 million in debt.
Wow.
So it was something.
Yeah, but look at you now, yeah.
Yeah.
Who had it harder, your generation or mine?
Well, it depends on what you mean by harder. Everything that's easy is like also hard, and everything that's hard is also easy. I think as far as harder or easier seizing opportunity, definitely my generation. There wasn't nearly as much opportunity. There was no internet, there was no Google, there was no YouTube. So a lot of stuff that young people can do now to make fortunes, it didn't even exist when I was a kid.
So what were the opportunities back when you were in high school that you saw people making money with?
I didn't see people making money when I was in high school. No, no. High school? See people making No, it was a different world. That's funny. That's such a funny question.
But you know, they were selling candy or selling drugs or doing something like that.
They were selling drugs. I mean, there were some people selling drugs.
Yeah, I definitely think it's easier now, but we have new challenges being younger, like with the social media, dopamine rush, with all this other successful people around you. You're comparing yourself. You saw nobody, but we see everybody getting rich.
Who looks like they're getting rich.
Yeah.
Even the ones who aren't getting rich, you see people getting rich, you see people pretending to get rich, and that causes you to put undue pressure on yourself, and there's just more opportunities so like y'all have it harder in the area of opportunities to do things that can like end your flow, end your life, right? There's more opportunity for disaster in the life of a young person today than there was for a young person when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it's just different kinds of hard. Let's see here. If you lost everything today, how would you get rich again?
I actually did this before.
Really?
Last year, I did a challenge where I went back to being broke, and I started over from zero, and I tried to build $1 million business in 30 days. And I actually did it. I started by doing DoorDash because I didn't want to go apply and go for a 9-to-5. I had a car, so I went and did DoorDash every day. And for 1 week, I saved up around $400, $500. And then I used that money to do e-commerce because that was the thing that worked for me in the beginning. That was my skill. So I started running ads on TikTok to a dropshipping store. I lost the first 500, so I started hustling again. I started doing DoorDash again. I started reselling from garage sales. We even started flipping Christmas trees because this was around the holiday season. We would go buy them from Home Depot, and then we put them on Craigslist and do free delivery. So that's how we were really making money, is that we were getting paid for delivering the trees. So I was just doing whatever hustle I could get my hands on to put into a business that was scalable, because none of those other things were scalable. And then I eventually got that store to the point where I was making $2,500 a day, and that was all in like 3 weeks.
So you find e-commerce businesses like an easy way to, like simple, not necessarily easy, but a simple way to like create cash flow out of thin air. I mean,
if you have money, it's good. You need capital though. You know, to run ads is expensive.
Okay.
It's super expensive.
Okay. Yeah, because I stuck my toe in the e-commerce water. Man, crocodile almost bit my foot off. I was like, nah, I ain't doing this.
That's how it goes.
That's fascinating.
Have you ever had a moment where you thought you would lose everything?
When you say everything, you mean like all my material possessions?
Like, everything. Like, it's done. The career is over. Like.
Yeah. It was more like I felt like I'd already lost. I'd lost my money, my house, my car.
And how old are you when that happened?
I was late 40s, early 50s.
Most people, I feel like, you know, if they lost everything at that point in their life, they would have just been like, all right, like it's over with for me.
Well, it wasn't like that I felt like it was over because I lost it. I felt like it was over because the thing that I lost that was the hardest to get back was the drive and the desire to do it again. Because I felt like if I do it again, they're just going to figure out a way to take it from me. You know the negative voices in your head, that was the negative voice in my head. Well, what's the use? If I go out and build it again, they're just going to figure out a way to take it from me again. And so I can literally, you probably can't imagine this, but I can literally remember like it was yesterday on multiple occasions, sitting on the back porch in my rented house because my credit was too bad to buy a house in Land O'Lakes, Florida, crying on my wife's shoulder because nothing I was working on was working for me.
Damn.
And thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do. She said,
So that just goes to show you, like, yo, don't give up. Don't give up.
don't worry about it. You'll figure it out. You always did. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. She believes in me when I don't believe in me. Let's go.
That's the secret, huh? You gotta find people that believe in you, because that's how it was for me. Like when I lost everything when I was 21 and I had to start over again, I actually came back home. I was living in Los Angeles. I had a nice apartment, a nice car.
Now, where's home?
Fort Myers, Florida.
Okay.
And I had to go back to sleeping on my mom's couch again because we didn't even have a big enough house for a spare room for me. So I was not happy about that. So I was landing from the airport and I was basically almost to tears, just like feeling like a failure. And I'll never forget it. I walked through the front door of my house and my stepdad was there, and I'm like confused of where's my mom, because she's always there to greet me. And he's like, oh, she's out back. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go see my mom out back. And when I opened the back door, all of my closest friends and family over the years were all waiting in the backyard for me with signs that say, welcome home.
Wow.
And everybody gave me a hug, and my mom loved on me, and I choke up thinking about it because it was like, okay, they believe in me. Somebody, but I don't believe in me, but they do.
Wow,
so
that's awesome.
that kept me going.
Nothing like a support system, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real, for real. Wow. What's the dumbest thing that you spend money on?
I always fly first class. I really like to do experiences at the highest level.
Yeah.
Like when you start to experience like concerts or hotels at that 5-star experience, then when you go and stand in the crowd, or then when you go and stay at the Westin, it doesn't hit the same.
Right.
Maybe I already ruined my dopamine receptors in that regard, but like everywhere we go, I'm not saying I'm going presidential suite, but I always try to get like nice everything everywhere I go. That's probably the dumbest thing I spend my money on.
So do you really think that's dumb though? Because that communicates something to you about you that helps you believe in yourself when you get ready to go do the next thing, I think, don't you? Or no?
Yeah, I love it, but somebody else could probably be like, that's probably pretty dumb.
No.
Yeah, like if you see last year, you know, all the trips and everything we did, you'd probably be like, all right, Jordan, like that's maybe too much. When you die, will your kids inherit all your money?
Oh, but my kids and my grandkids, 100%, 1,000%. I know a lot of people think, oh, you should give it away. To somebody who doesn't know what to do with it? No, I'd rather give it to my kids who do know what to do with it.
But what do you think about like the families where their kids get a bunch of money and then they don't have any drive or discipline, they blow the money away like most rich families?
But the problem wasn't that they got the money, the problem was that they didn't teach their children. My son is my business partner in one of our most successful businesses. My daughter's the CEO of her company. She runs it better than I ever did, right? So when my kids were in elementary school, we were playing Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow game around the kitchen table for cash, and the one who got out of the rat race first won $25, and the one who got out second got $15, or $10. The one who got out third got $5. I've been teaching my kids about financial literacy since they got here. Why would I give my money to somebody who's going to use it for God?
See that right there? That's some real nigga shit, bro. Because once you start getting that bag, bro, like, and you got kids, bro, you better teach them. You better teach them, because that's the only way to keep shit going afterwards. Because it's not even let's say you don't know what could happen. You get me? Even if you don't have nothing to give them afterwards, my nigga, they seen it, they know, they understand what happens. You get me? They understand how the shit works. So it's like it's preparing your kids in it, preparing your kids for the real world and that, and that's a great fucking thing you just did there.
Knows what, when I can give it to people who can perpetuate the vision for the family. I just believe that not only am I going to leave all of my wealth to my kids when I die, I'm passing some of that wealth on to them now. And the only thing that inspires me most to create wealth is the fact that I'm going to leave it to them.
And if you can teach them, then they're going to want to go get it themselves.
Exactly, and especially if you like when my kids were young, one of my sons said to me one time, yeah, we're rich. I said, y'all ain't rich, me and your mom are rich. There's a difference. And so we didn't give our kids money, we gave them opportunities to earn money. And when they didn't want to, and there was a time in their lives when they didn't want to have anything to do with the family business. So I let them go get jobs and figure out how hard people who don't have family businesses have it, so that when they came back to the family business, they knew they had someplace to come, number one, and they knew when they came back, they knew what they had, right? So they took it way more seriously. I think you can train your children in a way that not only do they not decimate the family's wealth, but they perpetuate the family's wealth if you train them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I still don't know if I would have been successful if I had rich parents, but I guess we'll never know.
This is a very fun conversation.
Yeah, it is.
Mr. Jordan Welch.
It is.
Okay. Would you rather have $100,000 or 100,000 followers?
100,000 followers for sure.
On what platform?
YouTube. You give me 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'll make $100,000 in a week.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, now you open a door, bro. You can't open a loop like that without me closing. What would you do having 100,000 subscribers on YouTube that you could make $100,000 in a week?
High ticket coaching.
High ticket coaching.
No question about it. If you have a channel in a specific niche, let's say teaching men how to dress nice,
okay,
or teaching people how to start YouTube channels, for you to make 100 grand, you only need 20 people to pay you $5,000.
Or 5 people to pay you 20.
Exactly.
Oh,
or one person to pay you 100. You don't need much. And I started a high ticket coaching business last year after I sold my software company. I have many people reaching out to me to help them start YouTube channels. And this business has been the most cash profitable company I started in years. And it's easy. Like, I'm literally getting paid over 100 grand profit a month just to talk about the thing that I love the most, which is YouTube. Yeah, high ticket coaching all the way, and you could really coach people on anything. Whatever your skill is, you could sell it.
No, I'd rather have 100,000 followers on YouTube as well. YouTube's my favorite platform. I've been on YouTube for 15 years, but I I was on it for 14 years before I even knew they paid people.
So here's what's really crazy. Like, the way that I make money with my high ticket coaching is on a second YouTube channel that I only have 4,000 subscribers on.
Wow.
I don't even talk about this high ticket program on my main channel. And I'm only getting a couple thousand views a video on this second channel. And it's still bringing in this much, so
do you
I would do that
tell me
for
what
sure.
the second channel is?
Yeah, it's called Mr. Welch. It's a business channel.
Excuse me?
I say big business, mediocre videos. That's the whole purpose of that channel. What did getting rich cost you? What did you miss out on?
Being broke. Sorry. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, you definitely missed out on that.
I missed out on being broke.
Well, you had your broke days.
I did
too.
have my broke days, but I missed out on going to the games, watching games. I missed out on some of my kids' recitals and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I can watch them play right now, or I can build something so great that we can all play together for the rest of our lives. We missed out on a lot of stuff, but it was intentionally missing out so that we wouldn't have to miss out for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
What about you?
Because I've made money while being young, I don't really feel like I missed out on anything in terms of experiences. If I feel like anything I missed out on is some peace, because I feel like since I was super young, all I ever wanted was to get rich. So when I look back at high school days, I was very anxious and I was always like just thinking about money. So I guess maybe a normal experience of a kid, I missed out on some of that, but I've now got to do all that stuff now as an adult, so.
And if you had to do it all over again, you'd probably choose the same thing.
That's right.
Yeah. Be honest. Is there anything you miss about being broke? No.
Hell no.
There's absolutely nothing that I miss about being broke. I detest poverty with an intensity that is magnanimous. So no, there's no.
No way. Hey, shit. You know?
That's a new word for me. You said magnanimous.
Magnanimous.
I like that. I'm gonna use that one.
Yeah.
Nah, I think there actually is one thing I would say. Okay, before, and this is, I think this is just from going to being a boy to a man. But like before, I felt like my circle and my family and stuff was like taking care of me, and they still do. But now, I feel like
Everybody's looking at you to take care of them.
everybody is taking. I'm taking care of everybody,
Yeah.
financially, mentally, emotionally. So like that dynamic has shifted, but I don't think that it's all because of the money. I think that's just when you become a man. I think that's what happens. But maybe I look back on like, if there's anything, I definitely sometimes miss that.
Yeah, there is a level at which you feel like if you've got something you're dealing with, you don't have anybody to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
Last two.
Last two. Let's me think of some more. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received about money?
I once met the richest man in Florida. His name is Thomas Petterfy. He owns Interactive Brokers. They have over $300 billion in management.
Woo.
And he told me the only thing that they can never take away from you is what you learn. And when he told me that, it made me realize that the most valuable thing that we have is our knowledge and our skills. So if we are constantly pursuing knowledge and constantly getting better at the things we focus on, you will never go broke in your entire life. So for me, that has been the greatest piece of advice I learned about making money.
Wow. So for me, he patted me on my shoulder. He said, "Man, you've done really, really well, but you can do so much better." It tripped me out so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need people to remind you that.
Yes. There is no there there. Like when you think you've arrived, you've deceived yourself greatly because there's no there there. The journey is the destination. And when he said that to me, it made me realize that there are always levels.
Nah, that's profound. The journey is the destination. There's no there. That's
There are levels, and there are always going to be levels. And he challenged me to acquire hundreds of millions of dollars worth of real estate this year. Now, right now I have about $6 million worth of real estate. He's like, "Oh, this year, yeah, I'm going to help you acquire hundreds of millions of dollars worth of real estate." Now, by help me, he didn't mean give me money. He just meant show me. Say less, do more, right? Then I had another conversation with him. He said, "Yeah," this was much later. He said, "Yeah, I had dinner with a couple of friends of mine last night. I was telling them about your videos." He said, "Now these guys, they're really rich. They make me look like I'm poor." I'm like, "There's no there there.
Yeah.
There's always somewhere to go, as long as you have somewhere to grow." So anyway,
I guess last thing, selfishly looking at me as a younger man, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
never stop learning. Like always be looking for and finding people in your life who are doing what you'd like to be doing, being what you'd like to be being, and the having will take care of itself.
Hey, well, I definitely learned something today, and I'm gonna keep learning.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too. That was great,
stuff,
bro.
man.
Great conversation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
that was a good video. That was a good video. Oh no. Chat, give me 1 second. Accidentally closed all my tabs. Alright, we're back. Alright then. Oh shit. Man, like cursed Kylie, you know. Appreciate the follow. I'm about to hop off though. You want me to play anything? You reckon? You want me to react to anything? You got any suggestions? Okay, if not, I might just hop off. Might just get off stream. Alright, no. Either way, I appreciate the follow on that. I'm about to hop off on that. I won't be streaming for the next 2-3 days. I'm gonna be busy. But if you go on the YouTube, it's all in my bio. YouTube, Insta, and TikTok. I should be posting some clips there, and on YouTube there should be some long form content that you can watch on that while I'm busy. But I'll be back in a couple of days, and yeah.